Dear people of Amazonia, my fellow brave warriors of our liberation movement, liberation greetings to all the people of the former UN Trust territory of British Southern Cameroons, or should I say, the once independent state of the British Southern Cameroons. Accept liberation greetings from me today, John Akuro. And if you are in the United States of America, I'd like to take this opportunity to say happy Thanksgiving to all and sundry. Today is another great day, another very important day, and another day in our quest for freedom. And today we will be doing a lot of information sharing. So if you're just joining, please make sure you are sharing the link. Make sure you are sharing the link because there's so much for us to share today. While it's Thanksgiving and the people are celebrating our own Thanksgiving here, we'll actually be sharing information that should edify us on exactly why we are fighting, edify us on exactly why we need to fight all the way to the end, and of course, edify us on why those of us who are either still standing on the fence or had done something they usually call backsliding should really join the fold with greater determination. And as always, I want to congratulate those who by day and by night continue to work very hard to move this liberation movement forward. I want to doff my heart as always to our self-defense volunteers, I call them our brave hearts, who are doing all within their power to ensure that we will have a free homeland. I also want to take the opportunity to frown, like seriously, at those, especially in Gokotunja, around Bamising and Baba, and then in Mezam, who continue to, harass men and women of God. Don't go into the convents to create trouble. Don't bring trouble to the men and women of God. Don't attack the body of Christ. I will come back to this in another broadcast to really talk about it because it is important for us. True that we have some areas, some gray areas of disagreement with, the Christian church in the southern Cameroons. That is not an excuse for our people, for whatsoever reason, to carry out any exactions on men and women of God. We really have to stop that. So that said, my people, I want to extend hearty salutes to all Southern Cameroonians, aka Amazonians in the diaspora, who are busy building their communities at this time because we really want to reinvigorate our struggle for freedom. And I'm delighted that, there is action coming up in other places outside of Buingo, Ketunja, Mezam, and very soon La République du Cameroon will find that everywhere will be as busy as it was between 2017 and 2022. So, my people of Amazonia, we are making progress, a lot of progress. Even people to whom I speak on ground zero say, despite the fact that some think that we are stagnating, or some even want to think that we are failing, we are making a lot of progress. All what we need to do is not only consolidate, but while consolidating the gains made, we sharpen our efforts to make sure that we burrow further into the direction of the freedom that we are seeking. That said, folks, I would like us to, while we are waiting, because today I really want us to have a lot of people in as we get into the real hot issues, because there are a lot of hot issues for us to talk about. There is a serious update regarding the situation of Barrister Tamfu that was tortured very mercilessly in Douala in La République du Cameroon yesterday. There is, a serious update. And besides, there's also a lot for us to talk about our liberation movement. But before we get there, I want us to take a short trip to Kenya as you're sharing the link. And if you're just joining, share as much as possible so that as we are sharing the link and getting other people to join this conversation, let's take a quick trip to Kenya and see exactly what happens when the governing class puts the development of the land first, puts the flag first, and puts the interests of the people first. It's simply amazing. And this is exactly what we want for Ambazonia. Let's have some little fun though.
I tried Kenya Railway's premium passenger train from Nairobi to Mombasa. It was actually the inaugural journey and I really liked it. But overall, it was worth it. I was actually traveling to Diani with my flight covered by the client, but I decided to upgrade to the premium, passenger train for the adventure. 12,000 Kenya shillings.
Just so you know, so we don't have any confusion here, this video you are watching is of railway transport in Kenya. For those of you who are in Kumba, who use what La Periode Mbanga used to call araignée, that sometimes you have to go out and push the train yourself with your hands to have it start moving. Or those of you who are using something in La République du Cameroon, between Yaoundé, Ngaoundé, and the northern regions, and you call those things train, and you call those things railway sleepers, I'd like you to take a look at this. This is our dream for Ambazonia. Just 5-10 years after kicking La République du Cameroon out of our land, no one will recognize that place. Let's continue.
I felt the pinch, I'm not gonna lie, but I was like, let me try. Sasa hapa ndio waliweza, kuna premium class lounge, una chill, wanapeana coffee, but vitu zingine zote ndani ya train. Yeah, it's like a coffee maker or something. Kuna kitchenette, absolutely beautiful. Yeah, tulitoka 3 p.m. so ndio sisi tukatoka premium class. Couch ndio hiyo, ni couch ama coach. Nimesema kama kiti, but it is what it is. Then this is the washroom. Yeah, hapa kuna washroom, and then yeah, look at that. Legroom kali sana. And guess what? I was the first Kenyan to book the premium class lounge. Nilijuaje, when I arrived, everyone was like, hey Edna, you're the first one to book, thank you. They even introduced me to the cabinet secretary for roads and transport, is Mr. Chirchir, if I'm not wrong. Yes, na alikuwa on board. Hey, nilijisikia OG for a minute. Met my subscribers, amazing people. Sikusumbuka kuchukua videos. I mean, I love that about KR. Kenya Railways KR. Alafu legroom imewesmek because ni recliner. Look at that. Absolutely beautiful. And here, well, tulipewa menu, SGR premium menu. You can check, you can screenshot to check. We have snacks, lunch option, and dessert. Then they gave us water. And we akaleta patko. I'm like, patko? Anyway, I'm just kidding. That is for kupanguza mkono before I eat. And then there's a wireless charging pot, which I loved. Huyu kana nakula salad, mimi najibonda. Had dessert and biryani. Then after that, kateremsha na chai. And then, yeah, I requested one of the attendants to anipatie tutorial ya kutumia ikiti. The full video is on my YouTube channel. You can head over there, watch and subscribe. My YouTube channel name is Natural K30. Shameless plug. Always shamelessly plugging my YouTube channel because why not? It's my content. Hata hii pia ni content yangu. So and then YouTube na mpatiane.
So my people, this is Kenya. This is not in Europe. No, that's not in Switzerland. It's not in London. It's not in New York. No, it's not in Berlin. It's not in Hamburg. That is in Kenya. Kenya, Nairobi, Kenya. In Africa. My dear people of Ambazonia, that's training. I'm sure the people of La République du Cameroon will show when they look at this like this, say, no, they have gone and shot something in Europe, in America, in Canada. That is not in Ontario. And they come and be showing that's Kenya. Because they can't believe it. Because they don't have the development mindset. Because all they believe in is power, is embezzlement. All they believe in is racketeering. These are the people we should never ever have joined to live with. These are the people we have to do everything to kick them out of our land. In fact, they should actually already have been out as in yesterday. So my people of Ambazonia, that short video was just to make us dream, because dreaming is very important. Because when you dream, you work towards realizing that dream, it makes dream worth it. It makes dreams worth it. So that is Kenya. That is real. If you go for Kenya Air, you'll be embarrassed. Ethiopia, that La period in Banga is to describe people who have finished pale as a champion for Ethiopia. But if you get into Addis today, Ethiopian airline is competing with the biggest airlines around the world. But look at La République du Cameroon. Where are they? And because we are unfortunately yoked with them, we partake in this underdevelopment mentality. So look at while in Kenya, you are seeing that that's finished product. People are enjoying it. In La République du Cameroon, what are they doing? They are constructing their own roads on paper. Yes, La République du Cameroon is constructing and inaugurating its own roads on paper. That is the minister, the La République du Cameroon Minister of Public Works, Nganu Jumesi in the middle there. You see them light or they think that they are talking about the inauguration. That is what they call maquette, prototype. That is how they construct their own edifices and inaugurate them only on paper. If they show you the prototype that they have of the roads in Bamenda or of the roads in Kumba or of the roads in Victoria or in Boya, you will say, oh my goodness. These are people with a vision. Empty shells. And then look at, even in this prototype, look deep down there, deeper, 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 down there on that prototype. You see a car which is yellowish there. You see another oncoming car. Even on the prototype, they are already making provision for head-to-head collisions there. And these are roads that they want to construct in the third millennium. That will never even be constructed. Who cursed us with these people? Who cursed us to bring us into any form of union in the first place with these people, whether fake or real? Oh my goodness. And to imagine that the late EML endily had won about this, it's even the more painful. The more painful. Why they are there inaugurating goodies on paper? This is the reality on the ground. What?
Main road. Serious accident. The road is blocked.
So you see, this is a road accident that happened yesterday in Bafang, on the Bafang Bafusam highway. And you see the whole place blocked. An accident caused the collapse of the bridge over the encampment. Take a look again.
No way. From here to Bafang is 500 before Bafang Babusam. No way to pass. All the passengers out. Terrible situation. We found ourselves there this morning when we were traveling. Main road.
Now you look at, yeah, that's not the only video. There's yet another one.
Pont sur le Honkam. Pont sur le Honkam. 6h40. Tout est bloqué. Tout est bloqué. On n'avance pas et on ne recule pas.
Si c'est jette ça dans l'eau là.
So that is the Cameroon, the grand ambition of Mr. Paul Biya. How we managed to find ourselves with those people, to be honest, I am still at a loss to understand. You see, I'm talking there about Bafang Bafusam, and that the bridge on the Onkam, because of that accident, the bridge is completely, it's mostly ruptured. And so you see thousands of people stranded because they don't have other roads. That's the only road. They don't have secondary roads. That's the only road. In the third millennium. And these people, these God-forsaken people, want to maintain us in an evil union with them so that we'll continue to live these kinds of horrible conditions. Talk about road accidents. Just this morning, an accident occurred on the Yaoundé Bafoussam highway. head-on collision between a transport bus and, a sand transporting truck. Over 8 people dead on the spot. So that's not enough. Again, still this morning, just today like this, on what they call autoroute between Yaoundé and the Simalen International Airport. An accident, 3 people on the spot. The deputy mayor, I think 2 mayors, 2 deputy mayors of Fu, and another young man working with the aeroport du Cameroon on the spot. Today, like this in La République du Cameroon, I'm sure by the close of the day, you would have counted at least 25 to 30 or even 50 deaths from road accidents in La République du Cameroon. And most of these are head-on collisions in the 3rd millennium. Things that don't happen again elsewhere. Ouch, my people. It is painful, painful, painful. I'm still talking about that La République du Cameroon because I'm getting out of that. Look, folks, sometimes when I talk about this again, like I said, so people say, "Oh, that's foreign news." I'm showing these things so that we all see the horrible kind of conditions we are running away from. Because I want us to continue to note that La République du Cameroon is really Armageddon. Really Armageddon. Oh, yes. Lately, some people say, must you shout so they make your point? Is that sometimes you really just can't hold back. It sends you really emotional. And you say, those Southern Cameroonians, those Ambazonians, who are still affording to stand on the fence, or who are still even affording to backslide, are they seeing this? Are they aware of this? Are they aware that we have one way and is the only way, and which is resistance all the way to the end? Those who sit and say, oh, because of this or that leader, or because of this or that person, and all, no. You came into this liberation movement, to this struggle on your own terms, and you have to stay in on your own terms, not dictated by any other person's terms. There is a thing we copied from La République du Cameroon, which has affected us in this liberation movement, and which is continuing to affect us, and it is a ganglia that we must eradicate by the time we get into our land. Else, it will affect us even in our land after we acquire or after we kick out La République du Cameroon and ensure our total self-determination. This thing has to do with our thoughts, our approach, and what we think about leadership. Because you see, in this liberation movement, we have seen situations where people think that the leaders are to be served, whereas the leaders are there to serve, are there to lead the charge as we fight to kick La République du Cameroon out of our land. That's why you suddenly see in the liberation movement, someone is moving, another one is carrying an umbrella on his head. That I'm covering this because he's president, or he's CIC, or he's chairman, or he's chairwoman, or she's waiting call. You hear bogus titles of His Excellency or Her Excellency and all this nonsense. You are in a country as big and as powerful as the United States of America, which is the strongest country in the world, the most powerful country in the world. I wonder the last time you ever heard anybody say His Excellency Joe Biden. You hear them quickly say Joe Biden. I wonder the last time you heard somebody say His Excellency Barack Obama or His Excellency Donald Trump. No. You listen to the news, you watch on television, they say Mr. Trump, or they say Trump, or they say Biden, or they say Joe Biden, or they say Barack Obama, and all of those things. These are people who are extremely powerful and whose words and actions shake the world. But you don't hear excellency. Let me not use the word I want to use to describe us, because it will not be pleasant. But this is what leadership has to be about. Take a watch. This is the true meaning of leadership. The leader is there to protect, think for, inspire, and cover the people he or she leads to make sure that they are not in harm's way. The leader is there to sacrifice, to take responsibility for the collective well-being of the people, not to be deified, not to become an object of, before you want to talk to them, you have to pass through 20 secretaries before you get to them. No, This is the meaning of leadership, exemplified. You who are watching this, sit down and think about your own responsibility in making leadership in our liberation movement and our future leadership in Amazonia to stay distant from the real notion of leadership. This short video should serve as a lesson and should make us understand that anytime you start deifying people, you give them wings that they don't deserve. Give them wings that they don't have. God's people in liberation is excellency, Her Excellency, chairman, chairwoman, this, that. No, we have to stop it. We have to become realistic. Because when we take away all that evil personality cult that we gathered from La République du Cameroun, where they call even a divisional officer son excellence, you understand what that means. You understand exactly how this influences people's behaviors, influences people's character, influences the way people look at the society, and definitely affects their approach to creating a vision for the collective good of the people. This is very important for us. Let's take a quick break and then we'll get into the real issue of the day. So I hope you've continued sharing the link. I'm glad we have a lot of people in now. So let's set the ball rolling. No, this is very beautiful music. Very beautiful music from the grassfield. Beautiful music from Amazonia. Thank you very much, my people. You are welcome back. Folks, this document that I'm circulating here, that I'm sharing here, has been making rounds on social media platforms. And when you look at that document, I mean, it's indicating that a meeting should have been held in La République du Cameroun yesterday, a very high-level security meeting. And a lot of people have said La République du Cameroun is finalizing steps to place a curfew in southern Cameroon in order to completely annex and assimilate and why not wipe out our regions. So by integrating the southwest, what they call the southwest, into Litra, that they call Sawa, and the northwest into the west, they call the grassfield. But you see, folks, I like us to take note about certain things. Sometimes we worry too much about inanities. If La République du Cameroun had the opportunity to do this and wipe us out and end this thing, they will not wait 80 years. Sometimes when they do these things and then they send out this thing, they say, sur très haute instruction du chef de l'État, chef de force armée, le ministre délégué à la présidence de la République, so that they are holding this. They give the impression is some kind of fear-mongering to make people say, this time, look, just go back. And imagine the number of times they have done this kind of, they have carried out this kind of things. La République du Cameroun is at its wit's end. I like us to know this. Let this not bother you, not even 1 inch. La République du Cameroun is at its wit's end. They have tried all kinds of strategies. Those strategies have not worked. Listen, folks, the most efficient strategy that La République du Cameroun has tried to date is divide and rule. Dividing us, making sure we fight each other, making sure we don't see eyeball to eyeball, making sure anytime we talk about the need for synergy, they have their people in our midst who come out to say, don't talk again. We are the leading group, just join us. Who come to say, don't make any noise. Our leader is the leader and just respect him, who come out to say every other person apart from a leader are agents of La République. This finger pointing and all of those things. That's the most efficient tool that Republic of Cameroon has used to date. The military tools, zero. They have all failed. And we have come to that realization. This is why, right now, we are doing all we can, and we should focus all our energy on overcoming the demon of division. These things, this nonsense pieces of paper mean nothing. They have held this kind of meetings before. They have held even most critical ones. They have sent out, the most dreaded of their forces. Because the bee was already eaten. Of course, bees, they're already eaten in Amazonia. Of course, say, hey, let me take this opportunity to say hello to Braveheart, no pity. Delighted to know that you are preparing a comeback. So, at the Church of No Pity, the bees were eaten, demystified, reduced to their barest expression. They brought all kinds of, Fox Spéciaux were reduced to nonsense in Amazonia. They've tried everything militarily, cannot go. The only weapon that they have against us, and that they will continue to tout and tout and tout, in the pious hope that we will get too divided to the point where we finally simply get weakened as a result of that, is divide and rule. That's the only tool that Mr. Biya has in his bag now that appear to have had some impact, but which we are fighting right now and must continue to fight. Sometimes when I come here and speak, people insult it. Oh my God, I've told you before. If I am still here, it's because I'm insult proof. If I am still here, it's because all those calls, like I came here to make a request for assistance for some of our people, and I said I needed $1,380. Of course, as at my broadcast of yesterday, thus far, we've moved an inch to about $885. As at the time I was coming into the studio, we're still short of about $500. But someone came and said, "How are you asking for money like a scammer? Because you don't want to say exactly where it's going and all of those things." I've said here before. Listen, folks, if insults had to do a thing on me, I would have dropped out of this liberation movement in 2018. When I had all kinds of false accusations on me. I'm going nowhere. I'm right here. I'm in for the long haul. Until we get to Boya, I'll be here. A lot of people came out and said rising stars, and their capital was insulting Baku on social media morning, afternoon, evening, and getting praises for that. Where are they? Where are those talking heads? Because they did not have this cause at heart. Because they could not stand the heat. I have faced it before in La République du Cameroon in the Lion's Den. It is not among Amazonians that will get disturbed and discombobulated and frightened out of this liberation movement. I'm in for the long haul. And I'm telling you, these antics by La République du Cameroon, forget them. Towards the end of the year, they generally hold this kind of meetings because their security concerns are not only in the southern Cameroons. That's the only way they have problems. They have problems with Boko Haram in the northern regions. They have serious problems of an impending implosion in La République du Cameroon. They are discovering, weapons stashed in some locations in La République du Cameroon every day. They're having that insomnia, and they know that La République du Cameroon is in a powder magazine, that you only need a little spark for horrible things to begin happening. That's why they are meeting. Ignore them and let's stay focused on our goal. Forget about their state of emergency, their nonsense. If they knew it would work for them, they would have done that years back. La République du Cameroon is not that kind of regime that holds back. They unleash everything, just as you will see right ahead. Yes, they do. They unleash. So, folks, ignore that nonsense. And as I was talking about them, La République du Cameroon talks unleashing, we saw what happened to our own brother, Barrister Richard Tamfu in Douala, in La République du Cameroon yesterday. Barrister Richard Tamfu was mercilessly tortured. Mercilessly tortured by gendarmes from the Groupement Territorial, the commandement in Douala. I have Barrister Richard Tamfu there in picture We definitely have heard about him, even if we don't know him physically, heard about him a lot. Barrister Richard Tamfu is that one who has volunteered a lot to defend our people, even when others shied away. Barrister Richard Tamfu is that one who went to Boya to defend our sister who was, harassed by Moja Moja, who himself today is in the throes of death. Harassed by Moja Moja while she was heavily pregnant. And her only crime was that she happened to have been a past girlfriend to her braveheart No Pity. And with all what she went through until she had to stay in jail with her pregnancy, even put to birth in jail, is Barrister Tamfu. This is our brother Barrister Tamfu, who stuck his neck out and went to Boya, enter appearance to defend this lady all the way to the end. He had done that for a good lot of other folks that we don't know. Much as Barrister Tamfu has continued to operate with structures of La République du Cameroun, political parties of La République du Cameroun, and of course, we have completely warned against that all the time because we don't have any business with the politics of La République du Cameroun. We don't want our people participating in any way, shape, or form because we're not part of that country. But Barrister Tamfu, by his other acts, has proven that he is a man with a heart and he is a man with determination to fight for just causes. And so the pictures that you are seeing there are pictures of Barrister Tamfu being tortured mercilessly in the face of the public by gendarmes of the Groupement Territorial in Douala, in the littoral region of La République du Cameroun. And why was he being tortured? Simply because Barrister Tamfu required the gendarmes who came to arrest his client to follow the law, as prescribed in the penal code of that country or in the criminal procedure code of that country, of La République du Cameroun. And because he said, you cannot barely come to hand a summons to my client and you are arresting him at the same time, that is wrong. It's just a summons, not an arrest warrant. And so you can't do that. And he opposed ferociously and stood to defend his client. Whereupon, these people descended on him like never before seen. Those pictures I'm showing are pictures of how the people descended on him in the eyes of the public. They beat him to pulp, carried him, threw him behind a pickup van, and did not only end by throwing him behind that pickup van. The video I'm going to show right ahead will make you may not see the act itself because some of those pictures, the most graphic ones, I couldn't broadcast here because of the community regulations of YouTube. They won't allow me to broadcast those here because they're very hard. But you hear the outcry of the public in the short one that I'll show, which is acceptable according to the community regulations of YouTube. You will be embarrassed with what you see. Look at, they are not holding back. They are ignoring the cries of the people. Though the people stand there too helpless, but they are hitting and hitting, even climbing on him with their boots behind that pickup. I'd like you to take a quick watch.
Ouais, chef, ouais. C'est quoi ça?
So you hear the people crying, where chef, where, hi, c'est quoi ça? Because the gendarmes are climbing on him. Two of them climbing on him. That is trampling on him with their boots. When they have already handcuffed him, strapped him behind a pickup van, cornered him. He's harmless. But they're still trampling on him with their boots. You want to watch again? Do.
Ouais, chef, ouais, ouais, c'est quoi ça?
You hear the outcry of onlookers. They can't believe their eyes what they are seeing. You know, 2016, Southern Cameroon's lawyers were beaten like children. Their robes confiscated in Boya. They were rubbed into the mud. They molested them. Policemen in one unit, they were even commanded by an Amazonian from Manu, a lady. They trampled on them in ways you could not believe. None of those soldiers, none of those policemen, none of those gendarmes were ever called to order. None of them ever faced any repercussions. Why? Because they were doing that to subhumans. Because they were doing that to second-class citizens. Because they were doing that to people that should not even belong. Because they were doing that to animals, not to humans. My dear people of Amazonia. And because nothing happened to them, why should anyone think that they shouldn't repeat it 8 years after? Why should someone think they shouldn't repeat it 8 years after? We saw soldiers of La République du Cameroun take Sam Sawyer, a physically impaired human being, beat him, cornered him, squeezed him to the ground, and started skinning him alive on video. The faces of those soldiers were in that video. They are all still working for the military of La République du Cameroun. Nothing has happened to any of them. Why shouldn't they continue doing this? Why shouldn't they? A soldier in Cow Street, or it was Cow Street or around Veterinary Junction in Bamenda, caught a young nursing mother, a young girl who had just put to birth, who was breastfeeding her child, raped her, and was caught red-handed. There was so much noise made. And the colonial governor, Lily Lafik de Brinchofo, said an investigation was being opened and the soldier will be brought to book. Nothing until this day. I'm saying all of this because I'll be talking to one of ours, Mr. Fabrice Lena, who is in Douala at this moment I'm talking here, and who is even right at the hospital to attend to check on Barrister Richard Tamfu. You hear him say, "Oh, there is a press release out. The government of La République du Cameroun has called for investigations." Of course, I've asked him to. I will ask him earlier to send me that press release. So I suppose that by the time I finish the conversation with him, we will have it. Of course, this is Mr. Fabrice Lena, the gentleman I'm just talking about. I mean, this is a picture of yesterday when he was there at the La Quintini Hospital with the family of Barrister Richard Tamfu, while he was, in emergency ward receiving treatment. Because, like I said, and you have also watched, he was beaten to pulp. Oh, yes. Before, I think it's because it happened in public and the people were screaming and the video has gone viral. The pictures are all over the world that the people felt pressured to take him to the hospital. Otherwise, what happened to Wazizi? Samuel Wazizi would have repeated itself on Barrister Richard Tamfu. And so I had this conversation with brother Fabrice Lena, and Fabrice Lena, of course, I call him the dreamer, the daydreamer Fabrice Lena. Don't mind me laughing. I call Fabrice Lena daydreamer because he belongs to one of the political parties there in La République du Cameroun, and dreaming that something good can never come out of Egypt. That something good can never come out of La République du Cameroun. But however, I appreciate his benevolence to share with me a situation update of what is going on with Barrister Richard Tamfu this morning. My brother, Mr. Lena, can you hear me? Greetings, my brother.
Yeah, greetings, young man.
Yeah, I'm calling you to follow up a bit on this month's Barrister Tamfu. Do you have any update about his situation right now?
Yeah, he's still at La Cantini. I'm right at the hospital with him. So, yeah, but he's actually with doctors in the room. I'm in the sitting room right now. I'm in the hospital with him, and then he's better, far better than yesterday.
Oh, okay, at least he's responding to treatment.
Yes, he's responding to treatment.
Okay, do you have an idea if at all he had any fractures or something of the sort?
No, he didn't, but he has told me stands and then the test will provide for that. But we don't trust this Cantini hospital, so we will do a cross check afterwards.
Now, what is the situation? Those that beat him up, are they still waiting to take him from there to jail, or they have left?
I didn't hear your last question.
I'm asking that the gendarmes that beat him up, are they still marching around waiting for him to get well so they take him to jail, or they have left?
Well, there is a recent communique that just came out from the colonel of Yagogoman, who said he has opened an investigation for them as usual, as you know it, and then we just got recent news that some of them have been kept on guard as view for investigation. So it's a developing news though, so one cannot confirm for sure whether it is true or false. So those are the news on ground now and at stake.
Thank you very much, Brother Lena, Fabrice. So you got first-hand information from someone who is at the La Cantini Hospital as we speak, and I'm delighted that Mr. Fabrice Lena accepted for his voice to come on this platform, and I'm wishing Barrister Richard Tamfu speedy recovery. And as you heard Mr. Lena Fabrice say, of course, those are not people we trust. And so when Barrister Richard Tamfu emerges from there, I suppose he's learned his lesson that nothing good can ever come out of Egypt. And I hope that my brother daydreamer Fabrice Lena is also seeing with this that we Southern Cameroonians don't belong and will never belong. The most embarrassing thing is that this thing happened early yesterday. But I got up this morning and I was looking at the newspapers that were published in La République du Cameroon today. All the dailies, not one of them, not one mentioned the ordeal that Barrister Richard Tamfu underwent yesterday in Douala. I mean, not a single of the daily newspapers, of course. Not one. Why? They will call it in French, chien écrasé, smash dogs, because we are nothing, because we don't ever belong. If it's even about Kuala, what was he doing there? That's what they say. I mean, not a single news organ carried this. Not one. That is what it is. It absolutely is what it is. I hope we continue to learn from these horrible acts. And as I was saying just a while ago, and thanks to Brother Fabrice Lena, I got this communique, or this what they call in French mostly message porté. That's the one that has been issued by the Secretary of State at the Ministry of the Cameroon Ministry of Defense in charge of the Gendarmerie, Galax et Toga, in which he is saying that they should start up an investigation, and it's even alleging that the gendarmes who were involved have been arrested and have been placed in detention. I mean, what they call in French garde à vue, have been placed on preventive detention, and so investigations are going on for responsibilities to be established. But folks, let me just read it for our edification. It says objet gestion gestion incident maître Tamfu Richard avec éléments groupement territorial Douala dans cadre objet sur instruction, Monsieur le secrétaire d'État, ouvrir sans délai enquête judiciaire pour faire la lumière. That they should open investigations to, establish the truth on exactly what happened sur cette affaire. Vous veillerez à entendre toutes les parties, toute personne susceptible contribuer à la manifestation de la vérité et établir les responsabilités des uns et des autres. Résultat dite enquête attendue dans les 27 heures. You hear that? Carry out investigations, interview anyone who could contribute to saying the truth. We saw, a lot of people around there, and then make sure you talk to all the parties to establish the truth and make sure the result of this investigation are submitted within the next 72 hours. My people, as you know, we all know the modus operandi of La République du Cameroun. This is folklore. Absolute folklore. We all know. What happened to the investigations that were opened into the brutal murder and roasting to death of children, 21 children, a pregnant woman, and other civilians in Gabu? What has happened to the investigations? Where are the results? Have the results ever come out? No. What happened to investigations into the brutal destruction of property, burnings and everything in my 8-man camp that was carried out by the thugs from La République du Cameroun? And then later on, Mr. Lele Lafrique, Adolf the Ben Chofo, said it was a mistake. They did not have to do that, that it was, in error, that they went and carried out those exactions and said investigations had been opened. Where did those investigations end? You want to hear more? Where the investigations into the massive destructions, torture, and even killing of some women, burning of homes in Babanki, where did it end? That was in Bambui. I beg your pardon, in Bambui. Where did it end? Ended nowhere. Nowhere. There are too many of them. Where did the investigations into the rape of the young lactating mother I just talked about a while ago on Cow Street in Bamenda, it was Veterinary Junction? Where did the investigations end? Whatever happened to the culprit? My people of Ambazonia. It is folklore. They will issue this press release so quickly like this simply because they need to fool the right organizations. They need to fool the international community. They need to fool the UN human rights body and claim that the people who were responsible for these exactions have been brought to book. Hell no. Nothing will ever happen to any of them. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. We're sick and tired of all of this. This is why I continue to sensitize our people of Ambazonia who continue, some of those who represent the 1.5 to 2% of our people who continue to think that something good can come out of any form of idiotic union with La République du Cameroun. Nothing. Only torture will ever come out of there. Only exploitation, only dehumanization will ever come out of there. Nothing good to be expected from there. Nothing. Folks, I want to go, but before I go, I want us to take a last look at this video.
Ouais, chef, ouais, c'est quoi ça? Ouais, chef, ouais, c'est quoi ça?
The pain of it. The pain of it. Did it make you angry? Did it make you vexed? Did it anger you enough for you to get out of your slumber? Did it anger you enough for you to get out of your cozy hatus? Did it anger you enough for you to get off the fence? Did it anger you enough for you to stop supporting this genocidal regime, this genocidal colonial administration of the Republic of Cameroon in our land? If it did, I'm waiting to see how you act. Because this is the only way we will succeed in getting these people out of our land. This is the only way we will succeed in getting these barbarians out of our land. I want to thank all and sundry who have taken time to be with me on this platform. We continue to give all the glory to God. We will continue to weather the storms because I know that we will get there. And again, as I said, make no mistake, we must continue to celebrate the little wins that we are getting because those little wins are going to add up. And that's why I'll end with this, that even after everything you have been through, you are still here. You should be so proud of how far you have come. Because I'm proud of myself. Me, Baku. Let me operate like the lizard that fell off the tree to the ground and was not hurt, and looked left and right and there was nobody to praise it, and it shook its head in self-praise. Yeah, you should join me to be proud of yourself. If you are still here until now, trust me, you must be very proud for how far we have come because we are getting there. Thank you everyone for watching this show. Continue to share the link and get as many people as possible to share this message, to get as many people as possible to know the truth, because knowing the truth will set all of us free. Thank you very much for watching once more, and to God be all the glory. Until our next broadcast, it's have a nice time.